Hello everybody, you are tuned in to PE with Coach Matt. This is episode 3. Today I'm going to talk to you about level 2 exercises, and I'm also going to talk about being a part of a fitness community. So first, a little bit about this show. This show is really for anybody who is looking for more information about exercise science and about the different ways that you can be healthy and find a way to incorporate fitness into your lifestyle. So there's a lot of information out there about fitness, and sometimes it's contradictory information. It can be overwhelming. There's a lot of stuff on the internet, a lot of stuff that you see on the news, and sometimes the message is very scary. Well, for my part, I am going to try to have a very positive, inclusive, and empowering message, because this doesn't have to be a scary thing. I want to reach people even at the very basic levels, and I want to show you how you can progress. So today's topic, I'm mostly talking to seniors, but anybody can take this message and apply it. Level 2 exercises, it's building off of what we did last time at level 1. And level 1 is for anybody who is not yet able to stand unassisted. Today is for folks who can stand with assistance but may need to have assistance while walking. That's really the marker for knowing that you're at level 2. So I'm talking to people who have fairly serious limitations, maybe really elderly, or it's also for people who may be living a very sedentary lifestyle. But I want to show you what you can do to progress. You're ready to make the commitment, and I really encourage you to make this commitment today, because you are going to feel so much better. If you follow along with me when I'm doing these exercises, you do some of these movements, you're going to feel amazing. You're going to feel so much better. And if you can do it, just this routine that I'm going to take you through, you can pick some of these exercises and make like a 5-minute routine. And if you're starting from scratch, even if you do 5 minutes every other day, if you can do that for a while, you're going to be amazed at how much better you feel. But before I go into the exercises, I want to introduce the idea of, so motivation is a huge part of this. It may be intimidating. You may not feel that you want to exercise, but one of the biggest things that you can do is to build a community around your fitness goals and endeavors. So talking to your family, working with your family, communicating to them what your needs are, what your desires are, that you want to be more physically fit, you want to be active, you want to find your fitness. So if you can communicate this to the people in your life, this will really be helpful. You may find that there are many people in your life who really want to be a part of your fitness journey. And another thing is finding a partner. The buddy system is one of the biggest. There's a lot of research to show when you're trying to form really any habit, but especially a habit of exercise, one of the biggest things that people do that have success versus those who do not is that they partner up. They find somebody to do exercise with. And you can do this from home, and I really encourage you, like I said, to do this along with me. And hopefully we're going to put out several episodes with different exercises, so you can do these routines. And today's routine you can do all from home. But I would really encourage you to join a gym or join a group that's participating in a physical activity. If it's a walking group, a hiking group, a bicycling group, or to join one of the local gyms. And in the Mid-Coast, Maine region, there are a number of really great options, including here at Ship City Fitness. And I wouldn't endorse anybody more than I would endorse what we're doing here. So please come join us. Joining a gym can be a really motivating thing. It builds a sense of accountability, and it's also building a sense of community. Because if you're just exercising by itself, that's one thing, but if your exercising is also incorporating it has a social aspect, you can be kind of hitting two birds with one stone, and it's a lot more fun that way, I think. All right, so let's go into the exercises. Now, at level 2, like I said, this is for people who may need assistance while standing and while walking, but you are able to stand at this level. And a few of these exercises that I'm going to introduce, they're going to have bands. So I want to talk about bands really quick. If you get nothing else for your home gym activities, or if there's no other piece of equipment for exercise that you know how to use, this is the first thing to start with. So these little elastic bands here for resistance training can be such a great tool. There's a couple different kinds. Commonly you'll see these kinds, the open looped ones with handles here. And I would recommend, if you are getting these for home, that you get a couple of sizes, because some exercises will be more difficult and you'll want to have a thinner band, but some of the other exercises you'll have more strength in those movements, so it's helpful to have a thicker band. Plus, if you are consistent, you will progress as well, so having a couple of options helps. You may also find one of these bands, these closed loop bands. These are a little bit more expensive, but probably a little bit more versatile. So if you can get one of these closed loop bands, that's a really good thing to have. You may also have just a thin piece of elastic band material, and you can use those just the same. All right, so with that said, I have about, one more thing. So for these series of exercises, I'm going to go through this today, and I'm just going to do about 15 seconds on each exercise. I'm going to run through it really quick. But what I would recommend is that you actually would want to do these exercises for about 30 seconds each exercise. And in between each exercise, you can start by resting for 30 seconds. And I would also recommend to start that you actually do each exercise twice. So you can pick several of these exercises, and you can do the first one, and then you rest 30 seconds, and then you do the second one, you rest 30 seconds, etc. And then you go back to the top and you do it one more time. Okay? So that's where you want to start. And if you do this for a while, you're going to build your capacity and you may want to progress. So where I would progress from there is to add a third set. So go through those exercises 3 times each. And then from there you can progress again. By this time, you're going to manipulate the rest period. So you're going to shorten the rest period. So you'll go through each exercise 3 times for 30 seconds, and you'll rest just 15 seconds in between exercises. And then from there, if you can do that, then you will probably be ready to progress. You'll be able to progress onto the level 3 exercises. I'll talk about that in the next episode. So the first ones that I want to do are from a seated position. And for this level 2, you choose a seat where you can, it's going to be above your knee, below your hip. So you can sit on the seat and your feet can hang off of the edge. This is probably the perfect height box. So, the first one, we are going to begin with a band. And this is a seated band pull-apart. I haven't talked yet today about posture, but I talked a lot about it in the previous episodes. So I'm just going to briefly talk about how to hold your posture for each exercise. And that's the most important thing. You've got to hold good posture, and I'm going to describe what that means through each of these exercises. All right, so I have my open looped band. I'm going to hold on to it about shoulder width, a little wider than shoulder width. I have my palms up, I have my elbows extended, and here's the postural bit. My shoulder blades are pulled back and down, My head is pulled back, my abdominals are braced. I'm sitting nice and tall on the seat. Now from here, I am going to pull the band apart, pull it all the way across my chest, and then I'm going to release it. I'm going to pull it and release it. So you see I'm pausing at either end of the motion, and I'm going gently through the middle part of the motion. And this tempo that I'm showing here, we're going to do the same tempo for each of the exercises. Okay, so that was the band pull apart. It's really great for your upper back muscles. Next, I'm going to do a hands on hip, seated cervical and thoracic spine extension. Long name, amazing results. So your thoracic spine is the extent of your rib cage right here. Your cervical spine is your neck. You also have your lumbar spine, which is your abdominals, the middle of your abdominals. So what we're trying to do here, we're trying to sit and keep the lumbar spine in neutral position by bracing the abdominals while extending the thoracic and the cervical spine back. So it's like I'm leaning back, and then I can relax, and then I'm going to lean back and relax, and I'm just going to repeat this motion here. This is a really important one for posture, again, because we tend to go like this. So we're going to train ourselves in most of these movements to fight against gravity, essentially. Gravity's pulling us here, we're going to fight against that. Next, you're going to do a seated tricep stretch. Your tricep muscle is the back side of your arm. It gets tight, so it's really helpful to stretch it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rotate so my elbow is pointing up and forward, and then I'm going to reach my hand down my back and try to go as low as I can. Then from here, I'm going to use the other arm to pull the elbow back just a little bit more. And with stretching, you want to feel the stretch, but don't go too crazy with it. You don't have to pull too hard. So I'll do this one on both sides. And you will hopefully be able to increase the range of motion of your overhead reaching ability by doing that tricep stretch. Alright, so now we're going to do another banded exercise, and I have to sort of set up for this one. So I'm just going to scooch my box out a little ways away from a place where I can attach the band. So any post will work. Or I can also show you this. Another way you can do this is to loop the band through itself like so. But if I can, for this exercise, it's perfect if I can have one handle in each hand. Okay, so what I'll do is, and it's going to be right at about belly button height is where I want it to be attached. And then I'm going to hold on with both hands. I'm sitting nice and tall with the chin tucked back, the shoulders rolled back. And then I'm going to pull the band right outside of my chest. And then release the elbows, and then repeat this motion. Again, I'm pulling, pausing, releasing, pausing, pulling, pausing, releasing, pausing. A common fault when we do an exercise like this, when we pull it in, is to shrug the shoulders. We actually want to sit the shoulders back and down and try to use your lat muscles down here a little bit more than just using your trap muscles up here. Now I want to move on to some movements where we're going to be standing. And for most of these exercises, it's helpful to have a post nearby where you can hold on to it or you can use it for assistance. So the first exercise, just getting up and down, you're going to do last time we did an assisted sit to stand where you used your hands into your thighs. This time we're going to see if we can stand up without using your hands on your thighs. One of the keys here is to use your momentum. So I'm going to start by sitting upright. I have my heels down on the floor. My heels are down slightly wider than my hips. Now from here, I'm going to hinge at the waist. I'm going to hinge forward and then stand up from there. So saw how I used my momentum. Now on the way back down, the easiest way to do this is to again hinge at the waist. My hips went back, my knees stay back, my shoulders come forward, and then once I hinged as far as I can, then I bend my knees to get down the rest of the way. I return back to an upright seated position. And then I will repeat this exercise, standing up and sitting down. And another thing that you want to think about is having your knees. You don't want your knees to collapse in when you're standing up, which will be a common fall. That usually means you're not bringing your shoulders far enough forward or keeping your hips back far enough. So get that angle of your torso for your unassisted sit to stand. So now I'm standing up. I'm going to hold on to this post, and then I'm going to do assisted lateral steps. So I'm going to start with my feet together, and I can use this post as much as I need. Eventually I'm going to try not to use the post, so use it as little as you need to. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick my foot up, step it out, and then step together, and then I step back and together. From side to side, I will go. You have to be able to pick your knee up. You have to be able to transfer your weight from one foot to the other. And one of the biggest things for this one is being able to pick up the toe as well. I have to think about flexing the toe. Fall prevention, one of the biggest keys to that is having the control of your ankle to pick your toe up so it doesn't just get caught on the ground. So this is a great opportunity to practice that. Another one we can do is an assisted split stance. So I'm going to hold on to the post. I'm going to step one leg back and trying to get as much split as I comfortably can. And then I'm just going to hold this position. So I actually have 3/4 of my weight centered over my front foot. My back foot is just 1/4 of my weight on it. The ball of my foot is down on the ground with my back foot. The heel of my front foot is down. So you can try that on both sides and just try to work on your stability and strength in a split stance position. One other very important thing that we can do at this level that we should be working on is just our ability to walk. And at this level you may be walking with a cane or with a post. You can use, there's canes that are more ergonomically appropriate. They size them just for your height. I'm going to use just this PVC pipe to demonstrate. Okay, and I'm going to use this as, also you can use a walker for this, so you can just practice with a walker that you hold on with both hands. You probably want to start there and then you progress to the cane. But in both cases, you're trying to walk with as little assistance as possible. You're trying to stand upright and hold your positioning as best you can. And you're practicing picking your foot up and placing it down. Again, I'll come at the camera here. Picking the foot up, placing it down, trying to be as symmetrical as possible. I'm going to do a couple of upper body exercises from a standing position. So first I'm going to do some arm circles. So I want to stand nice and tall. I want to roll the shoulders back. I want to tuck the chin. I want to brace the abdominals. Then from here I'm going to reach my arms out to the side and I'm going to draw a small circle, make a small circular motion at the shoulder. And I'm thinking about squeezing my shoulder blades together at the back end of the motion. So I'm squeezing and releasing the shoulder blades. Next one I can do, I want to test my ability to reach my arms overhead while standing. So I'm going to stand with my legs flexed, my feet close together. I can start with my fingers, my thumbs touching my shoulders. My elbows are down by my side, underneath the hands. And then from here, I'm going to just reach straight overhead. You may have limited mobility. You may only be able to reach to here. You may only be able to reach to here. But we're going to push it, okay? We're going to try to reach a little bit further today. And ultimately, you will want, if you can reach your arms directly over your head, that is outstanding, and that's where we will aim to go. Next, I want to go to the floor. So we'll do a couple of floor exercises to finish up. The one thing that's really essential to be able to do is to go from this seated position down to a supine position, so that's down on the floor, as gracefully as possible. And so we can work on this, all right? I'm gonna let myself go down under control as much as possible. Let my head go all the way down. And you can see I have my knees bent. Now from here, I could do a strict sit-up. That would be really hard. That's pretty advanced. But what I want to do is I want to use momentum. I'm going to use momentum for my legs and for my arms. So I'm going to reach my arms over my head. I'm going to bend my knees. And then I'm going to kick my legs and throw my arms, and I'm standing up. And then I can try to go down under control. I reset, bending the knees, reaching the arms overhead, and then I kick the legs, and I get myself up into a seated position. And I can repeat this exercise. Really good for training your core and your ability just to get up into this seated position. Another one that I think is really important is so at this level, really being able to maneuver, getting up and down off of the floor is what we're trying to be able to do. So there's different positions that you can hold on the floor. So let's try this one. You're going to go from a supine position to a side plank position to a prone kneeling position. Okay, so I'm on my back first, supine. All right, and then from here I'm going to roll to my side, and again I can use momentum. I can pick my leg up and then kick it around so that I'm in this side plank position. Hips down, legs down, elbows down, and opening up the chest. And then from here I'm going to roll into a prone position. All right. And I'm extending through the shoulders, my knees and my palms are down. All right, now I'm going to reverse it. I'm going to go back the way I came. So I'm going to ease my way back down to the side plank position, and then I'm going to roll myself back to the supine position. And I can repeat that on this side, pausing at each position for a moment. And just working your ability to do this will be hugely beneficial. I'm going to give you one more exercise today. Let's work on a hip bridge, okay? So I'm in a supine position with my knees bent, my heels are down, my head is relaxing back. And then from here, I'm just going to work my ability to lift my hip. So I'm going to push my hip up. And for this exercise, you can just hold this position. Yeah, trying to squeeze and strengthen the back side of your legs. This is one of the most important exercises you can do at this level. Okay, and there are a number of other exercises in this program. If you're interested in more information on this, this is all coming from my Balanced Body Cross Training program. I have this up online. You can subscribe to it, and you'll have access to all of these routines, all of these exercises, full demonstrations with pictures and videos, and you can also you can hire me to write a program specific to your needs. All right. So to conclude today, I just want to reiterate the benefit of having supportive friends and family in your fitness journey. If you're with a group of people who also like to be physically active, they like to go for a walk, and maybe you're at a lower level than they are, if they have the patience to help you along with that, it's really gonna benefit you in your in progressing along in your fitness and feeling more confident. And again, there's so many different options for gyms and coaches that you can hire, and you can join these gyms. And I'm telling you that it's worth the money. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, as they say. If you think about the healthcare costs that we accrue through our lives, especially as we age, well, there's a number of research data to show how if you're willing to invest in your health, even by going for a monthly gym membership, it will totally pay off at the end. And again, here at Ship City Fitness, we look at each individual specifically. We really have the personal touch, and I really think that, especially for seniors, we are the best in the business. We're the best in the state of Maine at helping people and it's not just the workouts that we're doing, it's not just the community, but it's the education. We will show you how to empower yourself along this journey. Okay, so that's enough for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll look forward to catching up with you next time. Have a great day.